y'all. Welcome back to the Artisan Tarot. I hope you guys like my outfit. I got it at, I love it. I got it at Torrid. So, I should have gotten a 0, but I got a size 1 in this. So if you're interested, it's a romper. But I normally don't buy rompers. But this one just looks so cute on the mannequin. I was like, I want it. And so I'm coming out to you with your fairy blessings. I'm going to do things a little different this month, Scorpio. This is going to be for the whole month of May. I'm doing this as we're going shadow phase. And for some signs, like I keep trying to record and Mercury is already screwing with their messages. So I'm like rather annoyed. So instead, I just thought, you know what? Instead of doing that during Mercury retrograde, I'm just going to go ahead and pull fairy blessings for you guys, but I'm also going to do readings with my Dragonfae Oracle deck and my Dragon Oracle deck. So we're going to get some really great messages for the month for you to how you can work through the retrograde, how the Fae are going to help you, and what lessons we can learn. I've kind of been waiting to pull out my Dragon Totem energy for a long ass time because I got to be honest, working with the Dragon Totem, you learn a lot about yourself, but you learn things about yourself that you may not like, but you're willing to like accept if you're open to that. So, you know, there is that. And also they're extremely helpful. Like they're super sweet and loving. And no matter if they are light or dark dragons, quote unquote, they usually have a very chill nature. Like working with dragons is super special. Like dragons have been wanting to work with me for years. Like it was so funny. I put off working with the Fae for years. Like they were in our house. I grew up with them being in our house, you know, and I just kind of ignored them. And then I just was in this really pixie phase as a kid, about middle schoolish. You know, I got really into like the Fae, and that's when I was like, yeah, I eventually want to work with them. So I would like do like small nature rituals, you know, here and there. But it was never to the depth that it is now. That was built up over time. Dragons, on the other hand, have been wanting to hit up my little self since college, and I was like, no, no, no. But I was a huge Daenerys Targaryen fan, actually, which should have been a dead giveaway to me that like, hello, you love her, you love dragons, like, and I would know, they would try to like reach out to me. I would see dragon imagery everywhere at a certain time, and I was like, fine, okay. One day I was like, fine, I get it, you guys want to work with me, but I don't know how. So I took the time to actually develop a practice with a spirit guide that was a dragon for I've been doing it for several years. So Dragon Totem is very special to me. Now, I will go ahead and do a quick plug-in for you guys real quick. 1, Full Moon in Scorpio reading will be posted on Patreon. Make sure to join that tier. Also, when you do that, you will also have access to the Libra video. So go ahead and watch those two, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and have Libra's reading lead into Scorpio. So it'll be important you get those messages. Recap. Use the Full Moon in Libra reading more or less as a recap. And then we'll go into the Full Moon and Scorpio reading on Patreon. Also, yes, while we're going to work with the dragons and the Fae blessings, I do recommend, because I actually have worked with my dragons, my Dragonfae, and my Fae while working with the Isis Oracle deck. I already have for your zodiac sign for the month posted your rites, rituals, spell works, incantations, and messages from Mother Isis. So just go ahead and go to Patreon. You get at least 3. I gave everybody at least 3, but I also give you guys like the lowdown on how the rituals work, what mindset we're going to go into. There's a lot to it. I don't just give you the ritual. I give you tools. I give you substitutes for things in the rituals, how to do the spell casting. It's a pretty big deal. So make sure to join me on Patreon for that. That is my exclusive content. This will be up all the way through May. So let's go ahead and get into your messages. Hold on. I'm like, oh, seriously? I swear, every time in this house, give me a second. I'm so sorry. I'm annoyed because I always check this table, and apparently I missed a sticky spot that someone put, and I am like, I am not. I love my cards, my decks, my stuff so much. I am not putting that on in no situation on any sticky stuff. Give me a second, guys. Oh, that's so annoying. I'm like, I'm not disrespecting my cards like that. Like, who doesn't wipe the table? Like, who does not not wipe the table after they eat. Jesus. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm not putting my cards on that. Sorry, guys. Okay. I just got out of the shower, so my hair is all a little... Okay. There we go. Sorry, guys. I'm just like, why is it sticky? I hate that. If it's one thing... Okay, I don't know who this is, but they can wait. All right. Which one do I want to do first? Oh, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, guys. And if you would like to book a personal session with me, you may do so down in the description box below. And I'm taking readings until the 26th. Then I'm off for 2 weeks because I have a wedding. I have to meet family. I'm now going to be in the wedding. So give me just a few moments here. And also, if you would like to tip me, you may do so down in the description box below. Okay, I'm going to pull these for how we're going to get help from the Fae during Mercury retrograde. So this is going to be in the middle of the session. Let me go ahead and pull from the Dragon Oracle first. This deck is one of my favorite ones to work with, actually. So this one goes into like a lot of the dragon totems. So give me just a second, you guys. Let's see. Show me, please, my beautiful dragon energy totems. Come through for me, for Scorpio. What is going to come through for Scorpio while Mercury is in retrograde? Show me, please, clearest of divine guidance. My wonderful dragon oracle. Show me, please. I ask and invoke my personal dragon spirit guide to help give and deliver these accurate messages to Scorpio. Show me, please, clearest of divine guidance. Whoa, okay, that's a lot. I'm only taking 4. So we're going to... Oh, you guys pulled exactly 4. I love them. Okay, so I always go from the bottom up. Okay. Wow, Scorpio, this is not bad. Oh, this is not bad at all. Dang. Okay, so, all right. Oh, and we got, I love this one. So we have another dragon coming up. Now, he popped out. I'm going to go ahead and leave him there. I was only going to take 4. But give me a second here, guys, because these dragons and this oracle deck, they are extremely special, especially to me. So the first thing is you have... Coming in as we head into May during Mercury retrograde, you have Archangel Gabriel's dragon. It brings purification. This is self-discipline. This is also going to speed up your ascension. Now, this deck, I do need to point out, talks about ascending and ascension in terms of not just chakra healing, but also this is talking about... Jesus, hang on, guys. Sorry, I'm like trying to close stuff because it's distracting. Okay, there we go. And the thing is that this is about ascension from the sense of you're going to go from high vibration or, well, more or less low vibration to high, but it depends on how and where you're at. So Gabriel's dragons are a little bit different. They are defensive, they're sweet, but they're also quite pure. I mean, these are fairly beautiful dragons. This also has to do with bringing joy, and you can carry Archangel's Gabriel's diamond with you. Now, the dragons do work with other deities. They don't just work with the angels. This deck, this author used it in terms of working with angels and with other deities. Now, the perfect reason that this came out, this also has to do with healing, but Gabriel's ray, I work with Archangel Michael's ray. I'm a blue ray. So, and Raphael's green. So, you need to find out first and foremost what ray Archangel Gabriel is, because Gabriel is protection, communication. Actually, I don't know if it's throat chakra energy, but art historically, Archangel Gabriel is responsible for the Annunciation, where he announced that Mary was going to have the baby Jesus, we all know that. And for those of us who don't, you just learned it, but art historically, he usually comes depicted as a blonde person or a person with the white wings, giving rays like this. Now, diamonds are interesting. I've actually never worked with this card directly, but whenever I pull from this deck, it's extremely special. So these messages this is what's coming through for you at the beginning of the retrograde. This is also probably going to help you get through a tumultuous time as Mercury retrograde sets in. And FYI, just to let you guys know, diamonds are made of coal, so there might be some pressure around this time period. Usually with Mercury retrograde there is, but Scorpio, it might affect you in areas of your 8th house. Or if you have Taurus in your chart, let's say you're a Scorpio sun with a Taurus moon, that's going to affect you. Or a Scorpio sun with a Taurus 12th house, that will affect you. Or a Taurus rising, that will also affect you too. So basically, you can use this dragon, Archangel Gabriel's dragon, to help purify those areas where Mercury is kind of working his influence and or coming through using kindness, healing, communication, to come through and give you the accurate clarity and messages that you need. Also, it'll help alleviate that pressure. So this is actually week 1 of retrograde. Week 2, we have the green dragon. This helps you attune to secrets of nature. This is where the Fae are going to come in. You will receive answers and guidance from nature, aka the Fae beings, align with your divine essence. Now, with the dragons in general, this dragon is, like it says, green dragon. It's all about nature, but it's also about heart chakra healing in the heart chakra and or green ray. Or if you work with Archangel Raphael, there you go. But if you are working with the Fae, perfect time to work with them. You can also work with this dragon and the Fae. That's why I'm also going to pull from the Dragonfae, because the Dragonfae give us kind of, it combines both energies, and honestly, you learn insights and wisdoms on how to use both, especially with this reading. But this is also a time where you're going to need to go out into nature. You're going to need to detox. Go take that walk. Go enjoy nature for what it is right now, if you can. If you're in a hemisphere that is dealing with spring or summer, perfect time. If you're in an area that is wintry, I would say go, but don't expose yourself to the point that you might get sick from the weather. Instead, try going to a greenhouse, or if you can, or try winter sowing or planting. If you have plants, just keep tending to them. Be around them. Try and meditate around them. I normally don't suggest that, but I also have to keep in mind, not everybody lives in my hemisphere where it's always sunny. And kind of like, I live an hour from the beach, so ish. So I say ish because it's the Gulf Coast, and Galveston is pretty dirty, so it's not a very pretty beach sometimes. So yeah, just keep that in mind. So if you can't, and if you are near the beach and you can't really find too much weather related like greenery, you can also work with the nature of the sand. Even though that's kind of more like sea witch energy, I would say try and find, or even algae. You could do algae too. That's sea stuff, but we have to kind of go with what's our environment. I don't want you guys going out of your way to go do things. That's the one thing about craft that nobody tells you is it's kind of unspoken, but like some people don't know. That's why it's always like, just work with what you have. But the beauty of the dragon, the green ray, is that this actually is going to give you deep healing on a level that if you need to decompress, that green energy is going to help. It's also, like I said, going to invite the nature spirits, which the Fae are, to come in and help you too. So I'll pull a card for their blessings. Then we have for week 3, the lunar dragon. This bathes you in divine feminine light. I bet you this is going to be around the time of the full moon. When Scorpio, come into balance and practice peace, harmony, cooperation, expand your casual chakra. Now, I actually have not a dang clue about the casual chakra, but since this is a lunar dragon, because silver is always going to be lunar in terms of, and it doesn't matter as far as what I've seen, if it's a totem, it's still, anytime something's associated with the moon, it's silver. That's just how it is. And This is going to deal with the reason it says divine feminine is because the moon actually does represent the divine feminine within us all. And the moon carries emotions. Now, the moon is going to be in Scorpio, which, as I said, when you go to Patreon, you're going to get more insights on what's coming through. There might be some pretty powerful stuff coming through, especially because it is a full moon in Scorpio. So, which is going to only heighten the moon and its energy even stronger, Scorpio, because it is in our sign. So I am pointing this out because here's the thing. The reason I'm picking up that this is the full moon is I am doing this literally as the moon right now is going waning into a new moon. So I know 3 weeks from now, this is going to be very impactful for you. And I want you to make moon water at that time. I want you to do a moon bath, a moon cleansing, where you go and lay under the full moon and get its rays, kind of soaked up. You can go in a bikini if you want. Lay a towel down. You can do that. Because we also are going to have this powerful eclipse at the end of April that's coming. But, the best thing about full moons and Scorpios is that emotions are high, but there's always a bit of truth. And Mercury playing in Taurus placements for you, which is our technically on the general wheel of astrology, it is our house of partnership. It's activating, it's causing us to think where and how are we being a good partner. So like I said, once I do the reading for Scorpio, we're going to go further into this exploration. I'm going to see what's going to come up. So hang on just a second. We have one more, and then right at the end when the moon wanes out of Scorpio, the very last week of the retrograde, we have a rainbow dragon. Now, this is awesome because this is telling me that no matter Mercury, what pranks he pulls, what he does, it's still a very joyous time. The rainbow dragon energy is one of the best cards of all the dragons to get. They're all wonderful, but this one is the happiest you can receive. Now, this is about taking big leaps of joy and opening new doors. Have trust, rediscover wisdom, expect miracles, and accept opportunities. But it goes a lot further than that because I've worked with this. This isn't just like expect sudden opportunities. This is usually lasting. When I pulled this card personally last time I used it, it ended up going for like 6 months. Yeah. That's how big this is. That's why, and honestly, the fact that it comes after your full moon, so you get full moon luck, then you've got 6 months until, your birthday. That's pretty much, this is going to last us a while. Now, I am not taking the astrology into account this month because here's the wonderful thing about working with dragons and general that a lot of people don't know is astrology is great. And the astrology works on us, but the dragons kind of take the astrology and they're like, yeah, this is the limitation, but we're going to teach you how to break that down. And that's why I love working with dragon totems, because no matter the element, no matter their power, they will always have very insightful things to teach us. And they are such wonderful teachers. And the Fae are wonderful teachers too, because they come in and they're like, yeah, we hear you. We got you. Here, wham, bam, let me help you manifest this. Given they're kind of funny and tricksterish and you got to watch them, but they're a hell of a lot of fun to work with when you know how to work with them. And so the last dragon card we actually have is the deep blue dragon. Now this keeps you safe and clearing your path. Trust that you are protected and walk on a path of light. Now, you can actually call and invoke any of these dragons that you need to when you are in times that are tough, when Mercury retrograde is kind of getting your goat is sometimes what we say. There's a saying, you get your goat. Basically getting it to your feelings or your emotions. In Scorpio, we're the most powerful. I would say we are pretty powerful for a water sign element. I mean, Pisces is, I would say, the most powerful of the water signs because they can get overwhelmed with emotion easily. We are the second to that, but we have our own power and strength of healing through pain, trauma. We see the darkness in people, and that is what also makes us quite powerful, whereas Pisces and Cancer see those things but put them to the side. We know intuitively, no, that person ain't for me. We know it. And so because of that, this is where this extra dragon came out. You can also ask and invoke this dragon. See how he's breathing fire? Fire dragons are quite cleansing and they are wonderful to work with. I've actually used them when I did spell casting a while back, a couple of years ago, and oh my God, they will not only help you break shit down in your spell work, they will help cleanse an area, an environment if you need to. So best thing about working with this one in particular is you are safe and protected, of course, but you can also ask it to be around you, especially if you're like scared or anxious, and honestly, having this invoked to be around you while you drive is not a bad idea. It will help protect you from wrecks. Because if it's one thing Mercury retrograde is great at is delay, car wrecks, and anything to do with the car that can do with damage and or being unsafe. You might want to ask and invoke this energy every time you get in the car, just to kind of be around you and to protect you while you drive. And you'll notice a heightened sense of awareness as you're driving too. So let's go ahead and get into the Dragonfae Oracle, because I really want to see how the Dragonfae, like, it's awesome to work with dragons, but I want to see how they're gonna, oh my God. Sorry guys, these are my personal cards. I've worked with this card and I love it so much. I am in love with it. I want this as a print in my house. One of these days. Hold on, let me pull from the book. I was supposed to work with some cards a while back, and I have been working with them, but as you can see, I gotta shuffle them for you guys. Worked with that one too. Wonderful. Yeah, just because I do readings doesn't mean I'm ever done healing on myself. Anybody who says that they're past a point, they're probably right, and they might be taking a break, but the truth is we're never really done when it comes to learning lessons. Hang on just a second, guys. Show me for Scorpio, please, my wonderful Dragonfae. What is the message that you have for us to learn about Mercury retrograde in Taurus, especially for Scorpio? It is technically their partnership house, and I'm curious to see what message you will pull. What is the overall lesson we're meant to reflect on with Mercury and retrograde in Taurus? Show me, please, my wonderful Dragonfae beings. Oh, Scorpio. Oh, Scorpio. This isn't a bad card, but it's Drystan, and Drystan is the look beneath the surface. Now, in the actual book, I've had this card come up twice, and it's basically the card of shadow and ego. Again, this is very much a Mercury retrograde kind of card for me. He's quite trickstery. He even kind of looks like one of those vampire energies from Van Helsing, in the dancing scene where they're in that hall. He gives me, his outfit gives me that vibe. But he's meant to teach us a purpose. In the book, trickster, Drystan is a trickster. So if Mercury is trying to teach you about trickster energy, he's trying to get you to go and figure out the shadow and figure out ego, which we are quite good at. But when it comes to love and romance, sometimes we put things to the side and we think not so. So this is where you're having to take a deeper look into your partner, your relationship. A lot of people think 7th house is just love and romance and partnership, but it's more than that. I'm so sorry. It's way more than that. It is, I would say, legal, because we got to look at the aspect of Venus too. But Venus in Taurus is different than Venus in Libra, because technically Venus in the 7th, Venus in Libra, is a normal actual partnership house. So when we look at Taurus, and that is also a Venus sign that is ruling your 7th house, this talks about how your relationship plays down in the 3D, and how shadow aspects, egotism, plays a huge dynamic and role in our partnerships. Everybody has a shadow. First off, let me go ahead and just get that out of the bat. We all know that, Scorpio. But with our partners, we sometimes don't like to acknowledge their shadow. And that can be sometimes our downfall. Because when we're in love, we just want to see the good in that person. But the truth is humanity as a whole is positive and negative. And the reality is there may be somebody around you who is very in your ego, and it's almost like either A, they're trying to meddle in your relationship, or B, they're coming through to teach you something about partnership and relationships and the ego and shadow and how you begin to identify it and or see it. Because the truth is, working with Drystan, and this is actually from the book that I remember, is once you know the shadow, you see it. and you know its intentions, right? And so I need you to really tune into yourself as far as like what Mercury retrograde is trying to show you, what it's trying to teach you about shadow side, how it's played out in your relationship dynamics before this point, you know, because Mercury retrograde is, like I say, retroflect to retrospect, and it's 30 days, but then we also got pre and post shadow phases, so technically it's like 2 months too. It's on the back end of a month, and then it's the whole month, and then it's usually the front end of the next month. And so the point of this is meant to, like I always tell people, with this card, it's about revealing this energy, this liar, manipulative kind of energy, seeing it for what it is, but not being afraid of it, because this is one of those cards where, you know, there's a saying like the devil you know versus the devil you don't know. This is the devil you know. This is the devil you've known for a very long time. You just pretend like it's not. It's not wrapped up in it, you know, like the Satan in the Sunday hat thing. You know, like it's one of those like sayings where you pretend that it is not that, but it actually is. You've known for some time. You just deny it. Now, you deny it either for several reasons. One, you're afraid of being hurt. Two, you're afraid that this will shift your reality into total negativity. But the reality is the more we resist change, the harder it comes at us, okay? So, and when I say that, like, it comes at us so hard that it makes us face this. Now, when we face this, his mask is off. Dry Sand's mask is off. There is nothing that can be shielded anymore because we see him for everything he is. He actually presents himself exactly as what he is, a trickster. And he knows it. He knows it. It's almost like he tells you that before you even go into agreements with him. So it's not like you don't know who you're dealing with. You just keep telling yourself you don't. Okay? So, interesting. So we have that for, I'm going to go ahead and put it for this one, because this is what's going to be revealed. Because remember, Mercury retrograde is about secrets and lies coming out. This person will be revealed, or thing. Sometimes it's not always a person, but it could be a thing that is going to be revealed in time. So let's go ahead and see what the blessings are going to be coming through with the Fae and how they are going to help you through Mercury retrograde. Show me for Scorpio, my beautiful Sealy Court energy. What is coming through for Scorpio for Mercury retrograde? What is the overall blessing for the month with the green dragon energy that you would like to help Scorpio work on as they work through Mercury retrograde and dealing with this trickster? Oh, hang on. I don't take reversals, so let me make sure there's no uprights. Oh, there is an upright. Sweet. We're going to take that. So this is the overall blessing, Scorpio, that you get from the Fae. Basically, once you've learned how to deal with this BS, right, and working with the dragons, you are able to create with the Fae. This is a blessing of fairy magic. You will be able to use the Fae pretty much after the first week of the retrograde, all month long. You'll be able to tap into fairy magic hardcore. And this is a card not for the weak. So if you're wanting to work with the Fae and you're wanting to cast with them and you're wanting to, you know, do fairy magic, first things first, we always ask and invoke the goddess Freya to help us because she controls all things fairy. If you need more clarification and or messages, the second goddess I can recommend that helps deliver messages that is also known to be associated with the Fae is the goddess Iris. She does more messages, but I know she works with them because I've worked with her before, but it was kind of like short brief because all she did was just send messages, you know, but she's awesome to work with, super upbeat. She's very fast too, but she's usually, they like to be around her where her flowers are. So you might want to work with the iris flower in terms of working, maybe doing a working or incorporating it in your practice somehow. But you don't just have to work with Iris. You can do the goddess Freya, like I said. You can work with her too. The goddess Freya is so much fun to work with, especially when working with the Fae. In this particular card, talks about you being at the height of magical potency. I've been calling it your magical apex for every sign this card has come out. And this is important because you working with nature magic helps open the doorway to Fae magic and helping them to help you, because this is a blessing you're going to have for the whole month. So the best part is they can also help and enhance any casting you do during the full moon and or before, right? So that's awesome to get, guys. That is so awesome. And oh my God, we literally just hit 30 minutes. Sweet. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I love you so very much. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And if you guys want to get a reading with me during the retrograde, please do so, because I'm only going to be available till the end of May, and then I have that wedding, and then I will be back 2 weeks later. So just until then, I love you all so very much. You got it, Scorpio, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.